Hey, you guys, let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me. Hello, ladies. Let me know if you can hear me. Okay, great. Mika Harris. Great. Hi, Lourdes. Hi, Oma. Hello, Salma. Okay, great. Hello, Apple Science. Great. Loud and clear. Great. So I'm just going to wait for the room to pile up. Viewers are coming in. Hey, everyone. Donna, just being real. Thank you for tuning in. Hello, Mercy. Hello, C Mac, Joe Jack. Us ear hustlers can hear you. Hilarious. Hello, Stacy Anthony. Hello, Triniana. A Immaculate. Okay, great. You guys remember to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Guard Eat. Welcome. Hello from South Africa. And you guys, let me know where you're located. As most of you know, I'm from New York City. Hey, everyone. We are going to start in a few minutes. And I first wanted to start off by saying happy belated New Year and happy Black History Month. And of course, I wanted to give a huge shout out and a huge thanks to all of you who have subscribed and who continue to lurk on this channel, because currently we are at 11.2 million views, and that is in a year and a half, you guys, which means that a lot of women and men are tuning in. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this feminine community. And I'm looking at you guys pouring in. This is phenomenal. Hey, from Paris. Wonderful. Ariel. Paris is my favorite city outside of New York City. Hello, Misha from Chicago. Katina from Mississippi. Jordan from Boston. Hey, Janice from Dayton, Ohio. Hello from London. I loved London as well. I went to London in 2018. Hello from Ghana. Hello. One of my best friends is from Accra, Ghana. From Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you for pouring in, you guys. I love all of you guys. Hello, Aisha from San Diego. Liliana from Atlanta. Chloe from Manchester, England. Hello, Sia. Scottsdale, Arizona. Wonderful. Chicago, hey. South Carolina. South Africa. Magomatsi, South Africa. Hit the like button, you guys. So excited. 2 more minutes and we'll officially get started. And you don't have to worry about spoilers. I won't be giving too much of the story, Wendy Williams story, away. Of course, you can tune in, and of course, you can stay live for the Q&A after, where you can ask me anything that you want. And I will try to make myself more available for lives. As you know, we are currently in a pandemic, and it has been really, really crazy in New York City, as we are like the heartbeat of the pandemic. And things have gotten much better, but it was really crazy. A lot of people died, lost their lives, lost their loved ones. We lost a lot of elderly. So I had to lay low on the live for a minute because you would hear nothing but ambulance, police, ambulance. It was pretty sad. So things are much better now, but we are not out of the pandemic yet. Hello from New York, Amanata. Hello from France. Hey Chloe, I'm such a fan. So excited to be able to be a part of this live. Thank you for being here, Bree. Abu Dhabi, wonderful. I'm going to sip some of my tea. Hello from Chicago. Hello from London. I am an RN, so trust, it has been crazy. Yes, it has been really crazy in New York. Do not be surprised if you hear an ambulance in the background. That's how crazy it's been in New York. So it is 12 o'clock and we are here. We are in the room and there are 300 of you, which is wonderful. That is a wonderful number to start with. So today, of course, will be all about answering your questions after the discussion. And today's live is called Womanhood Unpacked, the Wendy Williams story. Now, this won't be a rehashing of Wendy's entire life story. So for those of you who haven't seen Wendy's Lifetime biopic, I highly encourage you to do so. And Wendy Williams has also written a biography called The Wendy Williams Experience. She's written several books, but I believe that is the book that details her life in deeper details because there was a lot of her life story that was omitted in this Lifetime film and the following documentary. But there are so many delicious masculina and role reversal and alpha female consequences to discuss and unpack in this biographical film that will make for an eye-opening conversation in the comment section when this live is over. Such as, should an alpha woman always be willing to financially foot the bill? Did Kevin Hunter love Wendy, or was he using her all along? Now, I first want to say that as a native New Yorker, that the casting of this film was done phenomenally. This movie, as well as her follow-up documentary, What a Mess, was a very enjoyable watch and a very engaging survival story. And I must give my hat off to the lead actress, Sierra Payton. She did a phenomenal job in her portrayal of Wendy Williams, as well as actor Morocco Omari, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, who played Wendy's now ex-husband of 22 years, Kevin Hunter. So without giving away all of the details, as we all know, Wendy Williams is a trailblazer in the world of black gossip, ratchet gossip, and she is a trailblazing pop culture shock jock and is the original queen of digging up black dirt and asking obscene interview questions. And Wendy Williams was ahead of her time when it came to being savvy enough to tap into what an audience wants and what an audience is hungry for. And whether you like it or not, Wendy became the ultimate radio boss by delivering the hottest tea and gossip and insider information and outing celebrity dirty laundry. Now, Wendy Williams, who is now 57, is what I call an alpha boss princess archetype. And she was born into the picture perfect family, the picture perfect, the idyllic suburban family, middle class American family in Asbury Park, New Jersey. But in the Wendy Williams story, Wendy Williams was an overweight child who was heavily criticized by her parents, both of her parents, for being overweight. And that criticism came from both mom and dad. And here is where Wendy Williams alludes, she alludes to it, that the family image was definitely more important to her family, to her mom and dad, than raising her individual self-esteem. And of course, this criticism of her weight and being bullied for always being the tallest girl and the only black girl in her middle-class suburban upbringing was a huge source of humiliation and shame. which would lead to her bulimia and then would lead to her coke habit in her adult life, which Wendy has always been very forthright about. But Wendy, in her own words, admits to being nosy her whole life and decided to quite early on that radio would be her passion and her career, and pretty much the rest is history. But I wanted to discuss this story from the lens of the masculine and the feminine principle, which is why you guys are all here. Thank you, V, for your donation. Congrats on reaching 100,000 subscribers. Thank you so much, V. So this is about the lens of the masculine and the feminine principle, and how when we don't understand them both as men and women, that the spirit of confusion will happen, and the obvious train wreck of toxic buildup and the power struggles that eventually will destroy all relationships, all romantic relationships, when certain understandings about wiring and how we're wired are not in place. I'm going to sip some tea. Now, it is very important to note that Wendy Williams is the alpha woman archetype now, and she is also a boss archetype mixed in with a princess. And if you read my book Womanly, or if you are part of my finishing school, The New Feminine, as all women, you would know that we are not cut from the same archetype cloth. Some of us are girl next doors. Some of us are creatives. Some of us are analytic. Some of us are alpha. Some of us are boss. Some of us are a combination of many of the different archetypes. But we usually have one dominant archetype. So a boss woman and an alpha woman, they are not one and the same. But in short, an alpha woman is a dominant woman. Just like an alpha man is a dominant man, he's physically dominant. An alpha woman is a dominant woman. She doesn't like being underestimated. And an alpha woman is usually taller than your average woman, and she's strong, and she's usually bigger than others in terms of strength. And she's unafraid of competition or of competing in the masculine realm. And like most alpha women archetypes, Wendy wanted to make her mark on the world, and she wanted to be number one. And alpha women and princess archetypes love adoration, and they love worship. And Wendy loved and loves being called a boss. But she admits that being a boss will often mean being on a lonely path of solitude, because success and working hard and having sleepless nights can often mean loneliness, fatigue, and often feeling overworked and being burnt at both ends of the candlestick, because that is what it will often take to be number one and to remain number one, which is why being a boss will often require a huge reserve of masculine energy, and you will need a natural amount of resilience and a very, very thick skin, because you are slaying dragons and you are constantly being ridiculed by men because you are competing for revenue in a capitalistic world, and you are making deals with the big boys to make things happen. But this sacrifice is nothing to a boss woman or an alpha woman, because a boss woman is a woman who is, and I want you guys to listen carefully, a boss woman is a woman who is invigorated. Okay, that means she's energized by money, power, prestige, attention, and success. But as we all know, in Wendy's case, Mr. Kevin Hunter came along at a time when Wendy was thriving in her career. But what was missing, as usual with all women, most women, was her desire to start a family, to become a mom, and her desire to be with a protector, as her career brought a lot of negative energy her way, and because of it, she needed protection. And 6'2" Kevin Hunter from Brownsville, Brooklyn, he fit the bill. And then, boy meets girl, or thug meets girl happened, and Wendy fell hard and she fell fast, and they became a package deal. Because she loved his rough edges and his thug energy, which represents excitement and danger and taking risk. And it also means never a dull moment or a boring moment, right? A lot of women don't like to be bored with men. She loved his swag, the swag of his hustle energy and his assertiveness and his machismo. And Kevin became her alpha protection, her muscle, her brawn, her goon, and she no longer had to worry about her safety because she talked a lot of trash and a lot of below the belt gossip. And Kevin initially he played his position as a caring boyfriend and eventually a husband / business manager. But the first red flag, of course, you guys, for me was the age difference, as Kevin was 23 and Wendy was 29, which is a huge emotional maturity gap. The second red flag is that any man who comes into a ready-made situation where a woman is already successful, he might welcome it at first. He may accept it at first. He may be proud of his woman at first, but then his masculine wiring will eventually kick in and he will feel overwhelmed and eventually resentful for participating in the charade that is role reversal, and for being viewed as a meal ticket to his woman and to her business circle, because it's not just about her. It's also about the eyes that are looking at him while he is with his successful woman. And for also being in his provider wife's shadow. And eventually to overcompensate for a man's lack of masculine authority and his lack of being self-made, or being accused of riding his wife's coattails. A woman will often try to make up for that by giving her husband a position and a title, which is what Wendy did, which is always disastrous, because a woman cannot make an insecure man a secure one by paying for his life, or by paying a man to love you. So eventually his resentment and his emasculation will overtake him, and he will follow the emasculation handbook of disrespect, cheating, and will commit the ultimate betrayal by taking his breadwinning woman's money, which he feels entitled to. Because of the embarrassment and because of the humiliation, he feels entitled to take his woman's money to impress a woman who will need him, as all men are at their best when they are needed and not tolerated. And in comes Sharina Hudson, right? The mistress. She's younger. Kevin can impress her. Kevin can provide for her, of course, with Wendy's money. And he gets to feel like the total man instead of a role. Entire come up comes from his wife's / provider boss's coffers, right? Ladies, role reversal men will always look for ways to assert their authority and their manhood. And as Wendy had admitted, she has known about Kevin's affair with Sharina for over a decade. But initially, Wendy wasn't ready to leave. And like most women, she didn't want the other woman to win. And she wanted to believe that Kevin still cared for her. And she didn't want to be alone. As a 22-year marriage, ladies, is a significant amount of time, right? It's a significant time investment. And in many cases, Kevin gaslighted Wendy, and he really made light of his cheating. He made it seem like the other women were not important and that Wendy was still his number one. But Sharina's love child and Kevin's side baby became the ultimate deal breaker that eventually led to the demise of their 22-year marriage. So for those of you who want to know, how can an alpha woman or a boss woman have it all? How can she have the kids, the husband, and the whole package? And here are several solutions that I suggest from the feminine principle and the feminine point of view. 1, get an ironclad prenup to protect your assets. 2, have your family, but don't get married. That is always an option as well. And Oprah is a great example of having the love of your life by your side, right? Without adding the labels of wife and husband to the equation, because being a wife and being a husband, they are roles, you guys. They're not labels. They are roles that will always come with a set of expectations. Roles come with expectations. And when those expectations are not fulfilled, the spirit of confusion will take over and resentment will build and implode on both sides. 3, have more balance in your feminine and educate yourself. Okay. You need a feminine education. if you are a boss. Any woman needs a feminine education, but particularly if you are a boss woman or an alpha woman who thrives in the masculine realm. You need a feminine education to educate yourself on the masculine principle and the feminine principle, so you can always meet yourself in the middle instead of being totally caught up in being a masculina. So now the floor is open, ladies, for your questions. I think I did a good job wrapping that up. And let me know your thoughts and anything you want to ask me about femininity. And I'm here for you. So let's see. Okay. That is why Margaret Thatcher and the Queen marriages lasted. They knew how to tone it down, being soft at home. That is possibly true. You definitely have to meet your husband in the middle if you are an alpha woman who is married to a submissive man who is more in line with his caring and his nurturing skills. Okay. Can alpha female be happy with a beta male? Yes, she can. But that beta male, he has to be very confident, self-made, and self-assured. That is what is the necessary ingredients for that relationship to work. A man always has to be self-made. That means he has to be successful without your input, without your suggestions, without your support, without your advice. He has to be made on his own. Thoughts on Kim and Kanye's divorce? Don't really have any. I mean, she hasn't announced it, which is why I won't speak on it. Until she opens her mouth and says we're getting a divorce, then maybe I'll have something to say. Okay. Hey, Chloe. Hi. Chloe, do you think Wendy lacked self-identity and that's why she chose Kevin? I think Wendy struggles with self-esteem and self-worth issues like any woman. You know, people think because a woman is 57 that means, you know, her self-esteem is high and that her wisdom output is high, and nothing could be further from the truth. You know, a woman has to be insightful to be healed, and she has to have the ability to be reflective and look within. And so far, Wendy does not indicate that she has that skill, at least from what I've seen and what she's displayed. If you guys saw her follow-up documentary, What a Mess, I mean, she was literally all over the place emotionally. She is a broken woman with this marriage. She's still processing it. It's very painful, and I really hope that she's in therapy. I hope that she's talking to a professional. She needs soul surgery. She's in a lot of emotional pain. Kevin really took advantage of her. He disappointed her, and she needs to look within to heal. Definitely. Okay. Can an alpha female and alpha male work? No, not in my opinion. They cannot work because alpha males are not interested in women who mimic masculinity. They are not energized by masculine women. They are energized by feminine women. As you guys know, polar opposites, yin and yang, will always be attracted to each other. You need the feminine and the masculine to balance each other out. Okay, do I think Kelvin and Sharina will last? I don't think so. Their relationship was built on a foundation. Usually women who are willing to cheat with married men are not trusted by the actual marriages with. I feel bad for Wendy's kid. Yeah, healing. There's always talk therapy and there's always communication. Communication are open. He will be fine. Kevin was a hobosexual. That might be partly true. We don't really know his entire come up. You know, there's this, he was running a hair salon, he was hustling. You know, it was kind of murky and vague. But there was a lot definitely omitted in this documentary on Lifetime. It's buffering. Okay. Are alpha women bad? Of course not. No woman is inherently bad. Oh, shoot. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Oh, no. Oh no. No, here we go. Come on, buffer. I don't know what's going on. Okay. I don't know what's going on. Okay. All right. It is buffering a lot. I don't know what's going on, you guys. Okay. I'm not sure if you guys can hear me, but it seems that my connection is going in and out. Okay. It's back. Okay, stream settings. Okay. Okay, here we go. So hopefully you guys can hear me. If not, Wendy was a sugar mama, but that caught feelings. I wouldn't say she went into it knowing that she was a sugar mama, but she definitely caught feelings. She fell hard and she fell fast. Her hubby used her from the very beginning. Yes and maybe no. Okay, great. You can hear me now. Okay. Is your book club still open? How do I join? Yes, you can join my feminine book club by emailing me or by adding me at the feminine book club. And you have to pay a $20 fee, of course, to join the book club. But we discuss books every week that cover a multitude of the feminine energy, dating, etiquette, self-esteem, healing, forgiveness. Currently this month for, of course, Black History Month, I am featuring nothing but Black authors, Black feminine authors. Okay, great. No, you are fine. Let's keep going. Okay, great. Hello from New York City. Hey, Ivy. What's the perfect man for an alpha woman? Should a man always be older? Okay, that went by so fast. You guys are in the room. Do you think he ever really loved her, or was he using her from the beginning? That is to be determined. Who can say? Who can say? I mean, I'm sure there was some love there. Of course. I don't think 22 years together, a man could be with you for 22 years and not love you, but we're talking about the kind of love, right? It wasn't a love where she was cherished and respected and adored, which is the love that most women want. Okay, let's see. Chloe, read Lori's question. I'll see it. Okay, great. She's publicly showing her bitterness. She needs to heal, but her show gets ratings by her discussing this situation. Of therapy, which I don't necessarily, someone who can really offer her some healthy perspective and healthy insight on how to heal. But, we all handle healing in our own way. Is not receiving enough video. Okay. Okay, now it's going back out again. Okay. Now it's red again. I don't know what is going on, but boy, this thing, maybe I should change. I might really hop off of here and hop on my Wi-Fi, my phone Wi-Fi. Boy, here we go. Okay, now I can see it. Okay. I know you've been able to hear me the whole time, but some of you haven't been able to hear me. There's something weird going on. Okay, I can and have been hearing you clearly this entire time. Okay. It's buffering on my end. You are back. Yes, I am back. Okay, here we go. So I'm reading your comments. Do you think the age difference played a part? I definitely think the age difference played a part. Yeah, that is, I think it was like a 6 or 7 year age difference. That's huge. 23 and 29. 23, in my opinion, is a baby. And I'm not calling a man a baby, but I think 23, a man is not, doesn't even know who he is. So let alone become a husband to a woman who is 29 turning 30, who is already established and successful. Age definitely plays a part. She's too jealous and shady for friends. It appears to be that way. Truth fan, I'm a supervisor. We have very young people. Sometimes I feel maternal towards them. 2 of the young boys helped me with my car. I paid for the lunch afterwards. It felt wrong. Was this wrong? No. What's wrong with that? Now, if it was romantic or, inappropriate, that's a different story. Hey, Chloe, I'm in masculinist course. And they taught us how patriarchy is harmful to men and women. The high value men we look at fits this stereotype. So should we feel bad for perpetuating these ideals? That is a loaded question, and you cannot ask me about what someone else is teaching you. I don't know what they're teaching you. How can I respond to that? I teach hypogamy, which is the natural inclination to want to be provided for, taken care of, and cherished by men. That is in a woman's wiring. Maybe, now they're working in the back. Great. They're doing construction on my block, you guys, so you may hear a little interference. Maybe Wendy enjoys being in control. That is very much possible with the alpha female who loves being in power, in positions of power, but men do not like being controlled. So that will always cause clashes and power struggles. Even the most feminine, delicate, kind man does not like being controlled. Okay. I'm a 29-year-old woman and single. My reputation is damaged from the mistakes of my past. How do I reinvent myself? And what do you suggest I do to attract a husband in a small town? That is that is a lot. Your reputation is beyond your control. You cannot control what other people think about you. You can only move forward, in reinventing yourself means listening to my channel and changing up your whole look from head to toe. Cherishing your you-know-what, and high-level dating. Hey, Chloe, what are ways in which a woman with a sage archetype can increase their femininity? I don't know what a sage archetype is. I've never written about a sage archetype. Ladies, please do not ask me about archetypes that I have not written about, that are not in my book. I don't know what other people write about. Everybody has their own spin on what an archetype is. So if you're reading about archetypes from other authors, please ask those other authors. What did I miss? You missed the entire basically breakdown, but this live will be kept up after our live is going to end. Let's see. Should we honor our feminine archetypes even if it's alpha or boss, or should we change to siren or princess? You should honor who you are, because who you are, honestly, is kind of written in the books. You cannot change your natural inclinations of your personality, the things that you are attracted to, the desires of your dreams. Those things cannot really be put in a box to satisfy or placate any relationship. So you should always stick to who you are naturally. That is why it is so important to know what your archetype is, so you're not shooting yourself in the foot. You're not choosing the wrong men. You're not just trying to date anyone. You know who you are. You know what you're attracted to. You know what your dreams are. And following your archetype will help you to attract the right kind of man. Are you on Clubhouse or intending to have a presence there? No, I am not on Clubhouse. I don't think I will be on Clubhouse anytime soon. My first responsibility is to be a mom in chief, to be on mommy duty, and then to protect my womanhood, which requires a time investment, and of course is to be a wife. So I will not have time for Clubhouse. Can you still practice hypergamy when you have an immune disease? I have alopecia because of lupus. Does that leave me out? Any woman can practice hypergamy. Hypergamy has nothing to do with your health or your health stature. It has everything to do with your mindset and awareness and having it influence your standards. Okay, what do you suggest a wife does if she ever finds out her husband has been unfaithful? Oh, I wrote about that on my website. Check out the article, What to Do When a Husband Cheats. It's on the hypergamislife.com. Hi, Chloe. Should a woman ever initiate contact with her partner? If you're talking about shooting your shot, I made an entire video on shooting your shot. You should never shoot your shot when it comes to dealing with a man unless you intend on being a man in your relationship. When women shoot their shot with men, they ask men out on dates and they pay for dates, and you're basically setting the how do you call it, the vibration of the relationship, where you're going to be in your masculine and he's going to be in his feminine. He's always going to expect you to do things first, to initiate things first, to get things done. You don't want to set a foundation for role reversal. Let's see. Y'all, these comments are OD. Well, I know you guys are not used to hearing me go live. So you're just trying to cram it all in. So please try to ask more simple questions and I will try to go live more. I promise. Excuse me. How to be patient. Study it. Read about it. Get a book on it. Watch videos. Let's see. Some of these questions make my brain cells just degenerate. They are so asinine. I don't think there's such a thing as a silly question, but I think it's kind of unfair to expect me to unpack a question that has like 4 different scenarios in it. Okay. Should a side chick cook and clean? A side chick can do whatever she wants. How to work out the young guys? I'm not really clear about that question. That's true. I appreciate you coming live today. I really do. Thank you, Christina Gawara. Chloe, you once said giving men gifts is unacceptable. Can you elaborate, please? That means do not give a man a bribe to like you, to give you his loyalty. It means don't give gifts to men to be liked, to get a boyfriend. I'll say, what's the best age to get married? That's a good question. I got married at the age of 27 and I started getting serious around the age of 25. Like, I wanted a serious relationship that led to marriage around 25. So there's no perfect age. It really depends on your life and who you are and your trajectory. But I definitely believe that anything between, I would say 27 and 30 are like ideal. Some people will go younger, but I would say a sense of maturity and accomplishment and what you want out of life should be in place at least by 25, 26-ish, maybe 30, really thinking about getting married. Okay, do I recommend online dating? I've heard several things. I didn't meet my husband online. I met him through a mutual friend. So I don't have much experience with online dating. However, the women in my group, the New Feminine, they are online dating professionals, and there are certain apps that are considered trash. I believe there's one called Bumble where you have to pick the men out. I'm not too favorable of that. But online dating in this pandemic is the way to go. How else are you going to meet people, right? Hi, big fan. Tell us about your life journey. I've spoken about my story in earlier lives, and I plan on writing a book about it. So that's the answer to that. Chloe, do you have Patreon? I don't. Thanks, Chloe. You're the best. You're welcome, Shania Marie. Chloe, what are your thoughts on dating a man who still has feelings for a deceased ex-girlfriend? Put him in the friend zone because he has no emotional room for you. Thank you, Lady Aries, for asking that question. Tinder is trash. Yeah, Tinder is for one night stands and shallow relationships. That you're rarely going to meet a husband, a high value husband on Tinder. But you can get lots of attention with social online dating. Hey, Chloe, I just wanted to let you know that I really appreciate you. Thank you for going live. Thank you, Tino Tenda. Thank you so much. Chloe, how do I find my female archetype? There are many different archetype tests and websites that you can go to. You can also buy my book, Womanly, which I highly recommend. It's only $10. That can break down every archetype so you can understand yourself as a feminine woman and the kind of guy, the male counterpart that will be attracted to you. That is what's different about my book. You will learn exactly the kind of guy to look for, your equal in terms of matching personalities and bettering your opportunity or your chances of increasing chemistry, which is a huge problem with a lot of couples, in just getting to know people and getting to meet people, just creating that chemistry. Well, how do you know he's the right archetype for you? You don't know. Not every woman is attracted to a boss. Not every woman is attracted to a creative. Not every woman is attracted to a hustler. Some women are, some women aren't. You have to know who you are in your personality inclinations. Your energy archetype is very, very important on the feminine journey. How can an alpha female tone it down in her relationship? She has to educate herself. She has to be cognizant of her masculine energy, of her masculine vibes. She has to tone it down, but she has to educate herself first to know how that energy influences her relationship. I am 24 with a 56-year-old man. I feel like Cassie and Diddy. We've been together for 4 years and he doesn't know if he wants kids or marriage. Should I walk away? I feel like I am wasting my time. Yes, you should walk away immediately. 4 years of your life, that means he's known you since you were 20. Yes, definitely walk away. Is your book an ebook or a physical book? It is a ebook online bestseller on Amazon.com. Thank you, Catch 22, for asking that question. Let's see, 56, girl, you end up being get his career not completed. Okay. Never date a man for his potential. You will be waiting until every one of your eggs evaporate. There are plenty of ready-made men out there. I agree. Ox Music, thank you for your comment. Okay. Is it appropriate for a feminine woman to have certain men for sexual pleasure only? No, it's not inappropriate. Just protect yourself. A woman has to also know the stage that she is in. Sometimes women are in experimentation stage. Some women are ready to be married. Some women are newly divorced. Some women are just in the sponge absorbing stage. You have to also know what stage you are in as a woman. How can a girl next door archetype improve their femininity? By listening to my channel, by doing all the things that are required to be feminine inside and out. Thank you, Maddie, for your donation. You are greatly appreciated. Tiffany Cataly, made such mistakes and now in my 30s, do I still have a chance? I have a disabled child. Of course you have a chance. And that's the thing about YouTube. I think a lot of you guys tend to gravitate to the toxicity and the negativity that is on YouTube. You let it influence you. You let it affect your self-esteem and your self-worth instead of doing the work of the reading and the studying and staying away from the toxic men that are on YouTube telling you the worst case scenarios and the worst of what you don't need to hear. Thank you, NP, for your donation. I will have to catch the replay. I'm at work. I appreciate you and your content. Thank you so much for your donation. Love you, Chloe. Been here since the beginning. Thank you so much, Lisa Willa. Thank you so much. It happened so fast, honestly. What is the name of your book, Chloe? I have 2 books. The first book is called Stop Wearing the Pants, and I wrote that book in 2019. And the second book is called Womanly. It's for archetypes. You need to know your archetype, ladies, moving forward. And please do not ask me to make a video of the archetypes. There are several archetypes. I think there are more than like 10. And that wouldn't be fair to the people who purchased the book. Do men value virgins? Absolutely. Of course they do. Men in their 30s and 40s creep on 20-year-old women because they can't cut it with women their own age. Red flag. That's part of it. And also the part is the allure of inexperience. 20-year-old women don't have a lot of experience. And men like to feel like they're flattering and impressing women. And usually that will require going younger. Thank you for all you've done, Chloe. You've helped me so much. Thank you, Nia, for your comment. What do I look like? I'm a beautiful woman. Thank you, Miss Marvelous Blessed. Okay, do men prefer high voices or low voices? I've been made fun of my high voice before and my deep voice. Well, if someone is making fun of you, they're not a potential suitor, are they? Men make fun of women for all kinds of reasons. Do we pay attention to them? No. We look at their wallets, their ability to provide, their maturity, their masculinity. You know, just turn the tables around. Stop worrying about what a man thinks about you. He needs to be worrying about what you think about him. Chloe, how do you stop yourself from constantly trying to give feminine advice to people because you are now educated on femininity? Just keep your trap closed. People don't like unsolicited advice. And the best way to educate someone is to be the living example. You know, that whole, I can show you better than I can tell you. People need to see the results of your success more than they need to hear you talking about it. So if you've just recently discovered femininity and you're excited about it, don't go running and telling everybody. Just be the change that you want to see in the world. Do your hair, do your nails, get your pedicure, start wearing dresses, start speaking softly, start dating, and just completely do an upgrade, and people will notice. People pay attention to that more than you're talking. Iconic Eileen, thank you for your donation. What motivates a man to seek out other women while they are still in a situation? Is it worth pursuing? Thanks so much, Chloe. What motivates a man to seek out other women because the woman that they are with, they're not completely attached to or committed to. They don't have his loyalty. It has nothing to do with the woman that he's with. She's just not the one. It's really that simple. If y'all got kids, find a man with kids. That can be a simple solution. Thank you, Next, for that comment. Okay. Stop caring about what men think about your voice and your looks. Focus on your own self-esteem. Exactly. Thank you, Evil Kitty 64. If you ignore them, will they come running to you? It depends on the man. It depends on his attraction for you. Ignoring a man doesn't necessarily mean that he will come running to you. But if he's interested, it will inspire the chase. Okay. How much should be in the wallet? Good question. Who knows? It's really not about the wallet. It's about the bank account. A man knows that he's supposed to be a provider. A man knows that in order to be respected by his woman, he has to be able to take care of his woman and demonstrate that he can provide for a family. And all masculine men, whether they're gay or whether they're straight, are going to have to find a way to provide for a family. Or if they're very low value, they're going to convince you. They're going to come with manipulative ways to lowball you to make sure that you're participating in 50-50 and that you're helping them pay the bills and that you're helping him save money. I finally caught a live. Welcome, Midwest Jamaican. Is it wrong to date someone who's younger even though they are a provider? No. If they are emotionally mature, what's wrong with dating a provider who's younger than you? As long as they're willing to provide, as long as you're not getting to power struggles because of immaturity, which is very common between younger men and older women, I say go for it. I have to go and I'll hear the playback. Love you, Chloe, and appreciate all you do for us. Thank you so much, wonderful wheat bread. I appreciate your donation. Is Beyonce a pick-me? Okay. I won't even entertain that question. Thanks, Chloe. I want the best for all of these women. So do I. Are masculine men really rare, or are they more common than we think? That's a great question. Honestly, I think masculine men show up when your femininity shows up. A lot of women simply are not feminine. They are not even aware of their own femininity. So, of course, it'll be a blind spot for them. Chloe, I like your accent. Are you from Connecticut? No, I am from New York City. I was born in Harlem, New York. And thank you for your donation. Percy. Okay. Love you, Chloe. Your videos have helped me immensely. Thank you. You guys, thank you, Adele, for your comment. And thank you for all of your amazing feedback. I get your emails. I get your DMs thanking me. Your testimonies, they have been wonderful. And they do energize me. I do this work because my spirit motivated me to do this work. I'm not energized to do this work through my ego. This is all about a calling. God spoke to me, and I wanted to share. So here I am, and I never thought I would get this kind of response from women, but it's been pretty amazing. So true. Being feminine gets you a lot. It gets you more than a lot. It gets you an entire full life when you're really committed to the energy. Okay. Hello, Chloe. Hello, Arishka. Okay. I think I have a date with a millionaire, but he doesn't look like a millionaire. What does look like a millionaire mean? How can I know for sure without looking at his W-2s? Just have a conversation with him. And honestly, I wouldn't worry so much about what he looks like. What does it feel like when he's courting you? Is he spending you? Is he spending? Is he courting you? Is he trying to flatter and impress you? Those are the gauges that you go by, not by what a person looks like. What does look like a millionaire? In New York City, things vary from region to region, but in New York City, you would never be able to tell who owns a condo, who owns a brownstone, who's a millionaire, who's a 100,000aire. We don't go by how people dress in New York for that, So, a millionaire, you can only gauge by how wealthy a man is by how much he's willing to spend on you, how generous he is when he is courting you. That is how you know. Harlem girls do it best. Thank you, Miss Concrete, for saying that. Hi, Chloe. Hey, Nikki. Are you still in New York? I am still in New York. I love my city. I am a homeowner, so this is my home. My mom lives in Long Island, and she's a homeowner out there as well. Percy, if you were single, how could I get your attention? Are we flirting, Percy? Thank you for your $2, though. You would need more than $2. I tell you that. Okay. Chloe, where did you learn all of this beautiful feminine game from? You are so amazing. Thank you, Nia. I learned from my marriage. Definitely, that is the number one source of my hypergamous experience, information, things that I've learned from my family. The responses that I've gotten from my friends, frenemies, from women, just my life experience in general has helped to, shape what I know about femininity. Of course, reading, studying, and just really doing my best, of course, therapy, and doing my best to just be insightful, and especially when I have my daughter. As many of you know, I had 3 miscarriages, sadly, that really woke me up and said, you know what, I got to take better care of my body. I got to be more in tune with my womb. And I had to go through a spiritual journey as well. So that is how I know what I know. And I'm still learning, humbly still learning. How do we date in a pandemic? Online dating. DL. Okay, how can you show femininity and get attraction through the screen on Zoom? That is from A Feminine Life. Just show up, look attractive, be your best, speak softly, and try to get a date offline. I'm just curious, are you still married? Oh yeah, powerfully married, wonderfully married, happily married. My husband is wonderful, you guys, and he really does help to power what I do. And very supportive, very loving. Of course, has always been a provider, an amazing husband. Okay, what books would you recommend on femininity? You would have to join my book club for the syllabus of books that I recommend. But I always recommend to women to start with the 48 Laws of Power, The Art of Seduction, and the book Getting to I Do. Oh, thank you for your condolences. Yeah, I had 3 miscarriages, you guys. It took me a long time to even admit that to others. But I think it helps women who are struggling with their miscarriages, baby loss, that there is hope, that there is a rainbow after your miscarriages. And that's why I'm an undercover millionaire. Okay, Percy, with your $2 donations. Thank you, though. Bless your heart. Are you offering consultations, sugar and spice? I offer consultations, but quite honestly, I am so booked and busy. I'm honestly not going to be seeing anyone until September of 2021. It has been crazy with the consultation game. But you guys are more than welcome to join my Feminine Finishing School, The New Feminine. It is a great community of women who are committed to improving their femininity, their feminine game, how to date. And we just learned so much in the group. I teach lessons from the books that we study, and we share so much feminine fashion. We share videos, we share discussions. We're just open and honest, and it's a great group of women. Percy dropped them $20 to $30 donations. Yeah, he can. Chloe, would you ever consider moving out of New York? No. I really love my city, you guys. I love New York. It's loud, it's crazy, it's hectic, but you know, I fared well in the city. I've done well, you know, and my husband has done well. So, no. Yeah, September. Yeah. It's been crazy. How do you subtly ask your man for money? I actually did a video on that. You have to use the power of suggestion, and you can look that up in my videos. I don't ask my man for money, but he's my husband, so he knows what he's supposed to do. Oh, let me up in the school, please. You guys, if you guys want to join my Feminine Finishing School, you're going to have to email me at thehypergamislife.com or go to my website for the information on the school, what the school entails, for the details. And it's a great group. Yeah, is there a link for the group? Yes, there is a link for the group, but you will be emailed the link once you make payment. Hello, sending love from Puerto Rico. Hello, Alma. Thank you. Kisses to you too. Are you going to do a video about the situation with Chloe Bailey? No, I wrote about it on my Instagram. And that's another thing, you guys, before I end this live, thank you to all of you who follow me on Instagram. We have great discussions. I read each and every one of your comments. You guys are hilarious. You're phenomenal. I did not know that I could even write that way. I literally write how I think with my personality. And I really appreciate you guys making my Instagram community so phenomenal. Because I really enjoy you guys when you follow me on Instagram. And for those of you who are not following me, I am at Hypergamous Hive on both Twitter and Instagram. And I don't post all the time because sometimes, You just need to process your thoughts. Sometimes, I'm not really interested in being reactive. I don't think that's very ladylike. And sometimes you need to take your time before you respond to things. So I think that's very, very important. How do I make friends with more women? You should make friends with women according to your interests. That's the best way to make friends with women. What are your interests? And find those women in those circles. Your Instagram is poppin' Chloe. Yes, it is. Thank you, Cleopatra Myers. I love that Instagram. You guys are so much fun with that Instagram. Oh, my Cash App is thehypergamislife.com. No, the Hypergamous Life. If you guys want to donate, but all of that energy, all of that information is in the description box when I end this stream. Chloe be going in with the shade. It'd be nothing but the truth. That's the thing, you guys. I don't try to shade anyone. I speak to the situation, and I try not to be a shade to anyone. Sometimes situations is just so funny. It just comes out of my writing. Chloe is the healthiest YouTuber for level up romantic advice. Oh, what a compliment. Thank you. I don't like being compared to other women, but thank you. We all are here to do our part, and we all have our different style, communication style, and our ways of helping women. And I'm just doing my part. Your posts are so funny and witty. Yes, thank you, Asada. Asada, you're in my group. Love you, dearest. Okay. Chloe Cleopatra asks, what is your zodiac sign? My zodiac sign is Virgo. I'm a Virgo maiden queen. You may not try, but your posts are hilarious. I don't try. But yeah, I like to laugh. I'm a pretty funny girl, I think. Chloe is the GOAT. Thank you, Camille. And you guys, we have like 1 more minute left. I'm so sorry about those interruptions from the earlier disruptions from the earlier disconnection. Shortcakes K, drop the comments. Cash App, thehypergamislife.com. Yes, thank you, Shortcakes, so much. Thank you for your work. I have learned so much game from you. Thank you, Mermaid Tings. I really appreciate you. Chloe, women are amazing. Okay, Percy. Love the Facebook group. Yes, Mawaya Johnson. Thank you. Okay, so you guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. If you want to join my feminine book club, all of that information is on the website at thehypergamislife.com. Please consider joining my feminine finishing school, The New Feminine. It is a great community of women who are committed to their feminine journey, committed to learning about hypergamy and improving themselves on each and every level. And if you can't afford it, that's fine. It's not super expensive, but that's fine. Just continue to listen to the channels, to read, to study, to read the articles that are on my website for free. Currently, my January favorites of everything that I've loved for the month of January, of course, leaning towards femininity, is on the website. Please visit thehypergamislife.com. I try to give as much free 99 game away as I can. Of course, you can follow me on Instagram at hypergamishive.com. And I'm going to end our live. Thank you so much for the 794 of you that are here who have tuned in to listen to this live. And I will try to go live more. And thank you for 100,000 subscribers, you guys. And don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and I will talk to you soon. If I don't have a Sunday video up, you guys, enjoy your weekend. I'm gonna try to, but you know, my daughter, sometimes she gets jealous, you guys. she's been used to having me to herself her entire childhood. Now she has to share. So does my husband have a brother? Great question. He actually doesn't. He just has a sister. And that's a whole nother story. I'll leave it at that. Okay, you guys, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.